Okay, we are recording. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 839. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Thank you very much for downloading and subscribing to the show. Please visit the main website at miketechshow.com. You can email me questions and suggestions for show topics at miketechshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to visit my YouTube page at youtube.com/MichaelSmithMTS, and please click subscribe while you're there. Trying to get the subscriptions up, that would be a great help. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I really appreciate it. This show is brought to you by Instant House Call. If you're an MSP or an IT professional, this remote access service is what you need to test out and try. Instant House Call provides unattended and on-demand remote access. Some of the latest features that are included in the latest version, you got to test out and see it and try it. You get a free 15-day trial by going to instanthouseCall.com, and when you sign up, use the promo code MikeTechShow. Let them know that you heard it here. This show is also brought to you by MagnusBox. This is the best online backup service that you need in your pocket to sell and to resell. They only deal with partners. You can test out and demo the product and have all the same features that a paying partner does. They support Windows Server, Windows 10, even Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11, Linux, Mac, your Synology device. This is one-stop shopping for all your backup needs for your clients. Give them a try. When you go to demo it or when you sign up, mention you heard it on the Mike Tech Show, because you'll get free white labeling. And your platform fee for the first 3 months, it's going to be half price. You just got to do it. It's tremendous. I love it. I have almost 80 devices currently being backed up for clients. Check them out, magnusbox.com. Got a great show lined up tonight. I am going to talk about my email migration that took place this Tuesday. Now, remember last week I mentioned we rescheduled it from Friday. Boy, am I glad we did. Tuesday, it went really well, but I need to list out some of the lessons learned, and a lot of things we were ready for. But if you're attempting to do a migration, things you should really know as you put your master checklist together. These are things to consider and to think of. Then we're going to talk about PowerShell. Now, I'm not going to teach you PowerShell right now because I'm not ready to. I'm not qualified yet, but I need to learn it. And I've started looking at documents that are helping me, and I'm going to help you. And then I'm putting a question out there too for those who have learned PowerShell. I'm going to have 3 links to where you can get great PDFs for beginning. And PowerShell is, we'll call it your scripting programming language for Windows, where if you want to automate a task, accomplish something, when I really want to take advantage of it in the RMM Synchro that I have, I need to get better at scripting. There's a great community of scripts, but I want to do it better. I need to learn it. And I'm going to talk about what you have to do to make the environment and to help you learn. I'm going to go over what helps me learn. And I am going to follow my own path. And I've started with this, so I just want to talk about that. And then to wrap up tonight, I have a few things I want to talk, and a question. I want to do a meetup, and I want to see what the interest is and where it's going to be, what's going to happen. So I have that. I'm going to talk about Discord, lots of stuff. So let's begin. First, Tuesday morning, the DNS cutover was beautiful. In 8 minutes, I was on Network Solutions. I made the changes, and in 8 minutes, I started seeing the results for the MX records. That was a beautiful thing. Now, during this time, I clicked the final migration from Migration Wizard to start moving the last 30 days of mail. Because remember, I had already transferred everything but 30 days. And this is going from G Suite, Google, to Microsoft 365. And that was going great. One user, it was taking a little bit, but that started nailing. Then we need to change the Outlook profile for the users. And this is where things that I want to talk about, which you got to make sure things that we were ready for, but we didn't have all the passwords. Make sure that you have a listing of all the other email accounts that a user might have. They have 3 other small G Suite email accounts that they currently use, and we can't impact that. And not everybody gets those emails, but there's 2 main, we'll say, admins in this office that have to get them. So we had a few extra email accounts that we had to worry. And the toughest part was when we were rebuilding the profile, because you don't want to touch the initial profile. You go in to Control Panel, Mail, and you add another profile. Like if there's an Outlook, make it Outlook 2. If there's an Outlook and an Outlook 2, make it Outlook 3. And then make it where that is the only profile that loads. This way, if there's any issues, if you got to go back, you can go in and you can go back to that profile. So you don't want to mess with an existing profile. You want to create a new one. And when you're creating a new one, you got to build the other email accounts. And we ran into password issues because Google, in their infinite wisdom, grandfathers a lot of Outlook setups. But if you go to change a profile, or maybe go to another machine and you got to reset it up, you have to turn on 2-factor authentication in order to get it to work with Outlook. But we noticed something. With the 3 different domains that this client owns, and we had the primary one, which was the main migration. That's the big one. That's what everybody uses. Well, the other 2 domains, one of them we had to have 2-factor authentication, and guess what? The other one didn't. So I don't know if it's G Suite not hitting everybody yet, but eventually it will. So that can be some extra steps. The desktop app should be closed. I made it. It must be closed. So there was the period in the morning that we had already notified the users that if you want to look at your old mail, and then after 10 a.m. when I gave the go that new mail will start coming in, and I did test that, have a browser open to your Gmail and then a browser open at outlook.office.com for their Outlook account. And live on the browser until we can configure the Outlook desktop client. So that was another good choice that we knew and implemented to make things go smooth on Tuesday morning. The first thing we have to do is change the Office activation, because the client had the domain.onmicrosoft.com, and now it's their primary email. So Office is not activated on the right username. So now to do that, we always pick on Word because it's easier to work with. And then we go to the office account information, and once you go to the account, you have two sections. You have your license, and then you have who you're signed in as. Sign out of every account. If you sign out and it signs you back into another one, sign out again. Sign out until there's no name. Now go to manage the license and sign in with the proper username and password, and all of a sudden, the complete Office suite will work perfectly, so long as you know the password and that username is correct. It populated, and then you can check Excel or PowerPoint. They're all going to work once you do one. So we work with Word. That's the first thing we do before we start building the second Outlook profile. And then we just had to wait until all the mail comes back down and repopulates into the OST for Outlook. You have to sign after you're done signing out. OneDrive and Teams does not play well with the rest of the Office apps all the time. So Teams, we had to sign out and sign back in. I would have liked that to work across all the Office apps, but it does not. Also, OneDrive, we had to make sure, because during this process, we noticed it started coming up personal for the OneDrive, and we wanted the organization for OneDrive. So you got to double check OneDrive. So Teams and OneDrive, if they use them, check it out. Android phones, glad there was only two. Everybody else was iPhones. The iPhone, simple. You just go to the mail accounts, you delete the one that's being used, because you cannot have duplicate emails. You can't have two accounts with the same email address. It'll stop you from creating it. So it was easy for iPhones and iPads. The Android took us down a path that my son worked on and worked through, and we had to look up a couple things. So that got difficult, but once we got the process down, that actually helped him with a separate client yesterday because of what we went through on Tuesday. So that was great. So, matter of fact, if I can get the link, I'll make sure that that's in the show notes for tonight for Android setup for Microsoft 365. Just a couple extra steps you got to do. Now, do they use Google Docs? Luckily, only a little bit. This is my question. And I like that I have my main email account for mhsconsulting.net, and that's hosted at SureWeb. But my MikeTechShow@gmail.com clearly is Gmail. So if someone wants to share docs with me and they send it to the mhsconsulting.net, no. You got to have a Gmail. I don't like that. I get it, but I don't like it. And I want to know, what do you do for your clients? You have them have a separate Gmail account that's like a throwaway Gmail? Now, we're lucky with this particular client that has two G Suite Gmail domains that only has two email accounts, secondary for, I guess, sub-businesses for this client. They can use that to get Google Docs. So they can ask someone, hey, send it to, Mike Smith at def.com, because that's a Gmail account, but not Mike Smith at abc.com, the main company. So this is something we had to do because someone was sending them a link to a Google Doc. We also have a couple other things, which is how they're handling video. So what we're doing is we're moving them away from Google Docs and Google Drive to OneDrive, which naturally integrates with their Office, and they are now completely in a Microsoft ecosystem. And so that was a better way of handling big video files and things that they need to work with. So we are migrating them to OneDrive. I'm just giving you all these things that you have to consider. So make sure you're ready to have a solution for that. If you're moving away from Gmail, we still live in a world where people are going to send links, and I really wish Gmail would let you sign in with another account to participate in the other Google apps that you might want to use. Maybe even charge you a little fee, but don't have the primary email there. It's just something to think about. I don't know if it's possible, and I would love to know how you're handling it. Maybe you're doing exactly what I'm doing. You just got to have another Gmail account. As a matter of fact, anybody that's got an email account, you have to have a second one because you need a way to verify, or if something happens, then if you got to recover the account. So that is everything I learned. Knock wood, it went great. We were able to, any little questions that came up, we were able to take care of everything. My son and I divided and conquered on setting up the Outlook profiles, and we nailed them in a few hours and got everybody totally running. They're happy. And as a matter of fact, this client happens to be in our B&I chapter, and my son today at his meeting got a tremendous testimonial from the owner of the business. So that's always great. And if you got questions, hey, send them, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. If you want assistance with maybe your first email migration, or an email migration that, maybe over your head a little bit, I got some great ideas. I have a great consultant to consultant rate, and you can reach out to me. Just email me. Let me know. We can have a discussion and see if I can help you out. Rather than turn away the business, let me see what I can do and put you on the right path to recommend. And certainly the tools and the tips and the experience that I've go through in mail migrations. And lately, boy, that's been doing that a lot. So while I'm doing this, I get an email from Networks. Not Networks. Hold on. I'm gonna bring it up. Netwrix. Netwrix. And I'm gonna put this on the display here. I'm gonna have a link where you can get they have a free Windows PowerShell scripting tutorial for beginners. I want to learn PowerShell. Now, there are a couple listeners right now, and Adam, I know you're one. You say, Mike talks about a lot of things he wants to do and never gets to it. No, but I've already started, and we're going to talk about that process. So I recommend getting this book, but I'm also going to have direct links for 2 other free PDFs. And I'm going to just quickly review them right now, which is for this one. When you sign up, yes, you're going to get spam. They don't kill you on emails, but when you're signing up something, when they're giving it away for free, hey, they want you on their list. So I made that decision, and I'm glad I did. You have PowerShell scripting basics, the top 10 Active Directory management tasks with PowerShell, top 10 file system management tasks, automating PowerShell scripts, how to create scheduled tasks, and more. This company does a lot of tools for managing environments, so you can take a look at that. I don't use this company, but I want to bring it up because I think it's important to be able to, if you're going to learn something, hey, if we don't have to spend the money, let's do it. Now, I bought a great book that my process of learning has changed over the years. And having a book and reading it and typing it, it's a lot harder today, where I'm going to show you, this is the actual PDF, which is Windows PowerShell tutorial for beginners. This great introduction tasks on automatically renaming a computer. There's 48 pages here. Well, here's a link I'm going to have that is totally, another company, Practical 365. It's from PowerShell for Beginners by Alex Roderick. And again, nice examples, great little introduction. You get a little bit about the author. That's the author. And then I like how teaching you arrays, teaching you, brought up my old days when I used to program in BASIC and how I taught myself BASIC. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, because how do you teach yourself something? And you got to have a good process. The third one is going to be, as I bring it up, it's a free ebook, Learning PowerShell. And really nice. So we got 3 PDFs that are going to be linked in the show notes. So you don't have to worry. One you got to sign up for, and then they'll send you the link. The other 2 you're going to be able to just directly download. And I have it directly, the link that actually, when you click on it, the PDF's going to come down. When I tried to teach myself from a book, which was a very popular book that was recommended, I think it was Learning PowerShell Through Your Lunch Hour in a Month, something like that it was titled. I just, holding it open, even having it propped open and turning pages, no. And you can't learn PowerShell from just sitting and reading. You got to do the examples. It's how I taught myself BASIC. When I got a TI 99 4A, one of the things, a lot of you are going to laugh. It's going to also, clearly how old I am. I loved Compute Magazine because they would give you the code to type in for all these different programs, whether you had an Atari, a Commodore, and the TI, they support it. And I loved typing that code in to BASIC and then running it. And then there were some advanced commands where I had to have the turbo, the extended BASIC cartridge. That's right, not turbo BASIC. Though Borland's turbo BASIC I did buy. I programmed in BASIC and I retyped a lot of the commands. As a matter of fact, there was a book that Compute sold, and it was the person who did who was the author of the monthly column had this book, and Regina or something, I remember. Oh, boy, that sticks into my head. I bought that book, and it was a nice spiral bound, and it had examples that you can type. This is how I taught myself. I graduated Drexel in 1984, and when I was at Drexel, I would take massive notes. And I found that when I got home that night, maybe it was even after work because I worked after classes, I would get home and I would rewrite all of my notes in a separate book that was now clearer. And then I would make additional notes of some other things I remembered. But writing it down again helped it stick. So if it was really complicated, I would write it again. The more I wrote it, the more I learned it would stick. That was my method. You have to have a method. Well, here's what I'm doing now, and I like this. And I can't wait to do it when I'm down in Florida at my office because I got 3 monitors. Here I have 2. Well, I bring up the PDF on one, I bring up PowerShell on the other monitor, and I'm just looking at the commands, making some notes, and I'm writing the notes. Yeah, I know I could have Notepad and I could type it, but when you write how to do something, it still sticks. So now I have a process for learning PowerShell. And if you want to learn something, and maybe it's not PowerShell, and you're just listening to this and you're like, I could care less about PowerShell. Well, you're going to want to learn something. So have a process that you know works. And if you don't have one, start one and test it out. How much can you remember? How much can you regurgitate back? So this is what I'm doing to teach myself PowerShell. I would love from PowerShell gurus, give me links. What do you recommend out on the internet? If it costs money, let me know. If it's free, just say free. Give me the links. Give me maybe other PDFs that aren't the 3 that I have. How did you learn PowerShell? And I, on a future show, will bring this up again and add the things that I'm missing here that I'm not talking about now. So I really want to hear from my PowerShell gurus. That would be awesome, and we can help you learn and get it down. I might do a separate show just on PowerShell. Maybe it's not a Thursday night show, it's an extra show, which leads to, and this is a great segue into Discord. We had a great moderator meeting the other night, and one of the things that has come up is we want to get more people subscribed. We have over 150 members in Discord. It's free. And it's like the Mike Tech Show Forums Plus. It's not just forums. There's a lot more going on to get involved. The link is in the show notes, but you know what we're going to do? Taz and Photo Ray and myself, in September when I'm down in Florida because I got better lighting and the camera works better, there's just a few things that are better. We're going to record a how-to show in Discord. Show you tips, tricks, better way to lay out, because we are going to do more meetings after the show. So we'll still have the stream chat here, but you know what? There's a great chat. There's a great way to have video and audio. And if anybody's participated in the New Year's Eve show last year, we had a great time where we were hanging out and talking about everything under the sun that was tech related. We're going to do a how-to, and I'm going to release it as a separate show. I'm going to record all that, so you're not going to be afraid. If you're like, another social media thing to join, I don't want to join that. No, we're going to make it easy. It's going to be great. And you're going to get way more out of the show. It's going to also be a way to present topics for me. There's going to be areas there for show content. You want to recommend something. Or you know what? I had this burning question, I want to know how to do something. So this is really, really good. And it's going to make it easier, And I love what Photo Ray just put in the chat. There will be an after show on Discord that's easier for members to chat easier if they have questions for Mike. Yeah, it's not just chatting it there. Hey, hook your camera up. And if you're afraid you don't want to be shown on the camera, fine. Don't turn on the video. We'll show you how to do that. Got to have the audio so we can hear you. And I think this is great. We're going to start to take Discord and get it on steroids and get it moving. Just like I want with YouTube. Let's crank it up. Subscribe so we can keep, I want to keep raising the bar here on everything, because it's just going to make what you get out of the show so much more. So much more. So that is the Discord and what's going to be happening. And now, this show that you're listening to and next Thursday will be, for a couple months, the last show out of Pennsylvania. I will be going to Florida. Then the week where the show should have been the 15th, there will be no show on the 15th because I'm flying out the 16th, and I just can't have that. And plus, a lot of people are going to be at the TechCon convention, so no show that week. The following week, the 22nd, will be the first show from Florida. Then we're going to record a show probably right after that for Discord, and I'm going to release it right in the middle of the week. So we're going to record that, and it's not going to be live, and I want to get that going. So here's my challenge, and here's another question out to everybody. I want to have a Mike Tech Show meetup in April. What Saturday would work for you and that you'd be interested in attending? It's going to be in Florida, and it's going to cost you nothing. It will be free because I have access to a tremendous venue that I can rent very inexpensively in the development that my house is in Florida. They have a rec center that is perfect for a meetup. I already have someone that's going to pay for lunch. If that doesn't work out, then it's going to be, pizza and soda or something. I want to know, it's going to be in Oldsmar, Florida, which is 20 minutes from the Tampa airport. Now, if you can fly in, that would be great. And I'll get a discount at a hotel where you could get in on Friday and leave on Sunday. That'd be tremendous. Or if you're driving and if you need a hotel, I'm going to have the hotel info. But the day, a full day of events, lunch is included, and it's free. I'm hoping to have a couple speakers that I've already lining up, and we'll actually do a show, and we're keeping our fingers crossed because it should be recorded, and we'll have the video for the day. So we got lots of exciting stuff, and I'm going to nail that down when I'm in Florida in October and beginning of November. So email me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. I want to know your interest, and I hope to hear from everybody that I know. Someone from Sarasota, people that are very close to my area that we have not met, and we've chat or different things on Facebook. So I know I have listeners in Palm Harbor and listeners in the area, all surrounding where I'm at. I know I have some Tampa listeners. Let me know that what Saturday would work best for you, especially if all you're doing is just driving a few miles to meet here. If you're coming from somewhere else, I want to know. I want to get the best Saturday that I can. I want to see what the interest is. Are we going to have 20 people, 40 people? I don't know. So we had a great turnout for my show 500 in Fort Washington, PA, back in 2014. And boy, I can't believe how long ago that was. So let me know, and we'll take it from there. I know I will have tremendous topics that you will get something out of it. You can't beat free. You just got to get there. And we'll have a lot of fun. That is it for tonight's show. And don't forget, come back to MikeTechShow.com for the show notes. You're going to want those PDFs. And that's it. Talk to everybody next week. Bye-bye.